So for this video, I'm just gonna go over some of the things that do and don't work for me when it comes to natural hair. This can really be anything from styling to tools. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Your body, 'cause it helps me so. I like to wrap my tongue around the words that I don't know. I feel the roses, tell me where the black one go. I need to focus, switching up the status quo. I like the taste.
So first I'm gonna go over the do's and then I'm gonna go over the don'ts when it comes to my hair. So that's how we're gonna go with this video. So the first thing that does work for me really well would be pre-pooing my hair. So pre-pooing is really good for prepping your hair before using things like shampoo that can be harsh on the hair. My hair really does feel stripped after using certain shampoos sometimes, so putting in that protective barrier before adding in shampoos actually does a good job for my hair. It's really beneficial. I will say with pre-poos, I don't know who thought that was a good name. It doesn't sound good at all. I hate that name more than anything when it comes to natural hair, but it is what it is. It doesn't sound like what it is, but that's what it is. To follow that up, I like thick buttery products. Not a good follow-up to pre-pooing. But thick buttery products really work well on my hair. I have high porosity hair, so those type of products actually work really well at locking in the moisture and keeping my hair moisturized throughout the entire week. So if I go in with a product, whether it's a deep conditioner or it's a leave-in, I like those products to be really thick or buttery type products. Another thing that works really well on my hair is sectioning my hair. So I used to never section my hair. My hair would get tangled between, let's say, this section and then over to maybe the middle or top of my head. I would just tangle up different areas of my head and my hair wouldn't consistently come out looking the same. So once I start really sectioning my hair, it was really easier for me to achieve having a good wash and go that lasted for an entire week. I will mention that sectioning your hair is also a really good way to prevent you from using too much product, because you're able to just determine which section needs more gel, cream, anything like that, so you don't have to like overdo it and add too much. Another thing that works for me is actually both the LCO and the LOC method. My hair really does still turn out moisturized no matter what, as long as I am using some sort of oil to seal in the moisture. The reason why I know that the oils and butters work for me is because had you seen the video where I did my hair growth journey, I really showed off pictures where my hair wasn't the best, sort of pre-pandemic, and I wasn't really consistently using butters and oils. So that's how I know that butters and oils work for me, because my hair didn't start turning out right until I started doing that. And the last thing that I know that really does work well for me would be sort of being heavy-handed on product use. I like to really go in and use a lot of product. Now that's only when it comes to like, let's say, the cream or leave-in conditioner. I don't use too much deep conditioner because it costs too much money, and shampoo because it strips my hair too much. So the only thing that I am heavy-handed on is whatever cream or leave-in I'm going to use. So that just does really well to sort of trap in moisture for me and to just keep my hair moisturized over the entire week, so that I'm not doing too much maintenance throughout the week trying to give myself more moisture. So now I'm gonna go into the things that don't really work well for me when it comes to natural hair. The first thing that doesn't really work for me is removing hair shed when my hair is dry. Now I can remove hair shed when my hair is dry. It's just that I notice that my hair tends to shed a bit more when my hair is dry and I'm removing hair shed. I don't know why that is. I would assume that I would lose more hair when my hair is wet and fragile, but when my hair is dry and I'm doing it, let's say I'm just doing pre-poo and it's just oil, then I tend to just lose so much, because I will do that and then I'll go into the shower and rinse out my pre-poo, and then I'll just continuing to shed hair. And that's why I just do it all when I'm in the shower, and I can just remove all the hair shed right then and there. So another thing that doesn't really work too well for me would be things like a Denman brush. Denman brushes to me are a hit and miss when it comes to natural hair. I would say some people it works really well for. Some people like me, it doesn't. My hair already shrinks up quite a bit considering the fact that my hair can reach beyond my chin. So using a Denman brush just really shrinks up my hair all the way to my brain. So I can't really go in and continue using a Denman brush. On top of that, Denman brushes tend to pull out a lot of my hair when I'm sort of using it to detangle or even using it to quickly style. So, and it's not just Denman brushes, anything that's sort of like shaped like a Denman brush, whatever. I don't know the other brands, but anything that's sort of designed to do the same thing and it's a Denman brush, they don't work that well on my hair. They tend to rip out too much hair and give me too much shrinkage, so I just use a wide tooth comb for detangling. The next thing that I don't really like doing in my hair would be protective styling. I know a lot of people are going to be mad about that, but protective styling is good to use if you want to retain the length. And I'm not saying that protective styling doesn't work, I'm saying I don't like doing it because it takes too much time. I don't have time to twist up my hair all around my head to make it look perfect and then hold this in for like a week or so. I don't really like going that long without having my hair curly. So that's why I say it doesn't really work for me. It's just that it doesn't work for my preference and my schedule because I don't have time to braid my hair up and then take it down. Like that, to me, that just takes too much time. Same with the twists, although I would like to twist up my hair at some point, at least for a week. And on top of that, I would like to do a twist out. So I'll say protective styling, it only doesn't work for me because I don't want to do it. Another thing that doesn't work for me is adding my products to my hair when my hair is damp. Now, I'll say there's only really one product that does work better for me when my hair is damp, and that's the Dew Mousse Def. I tend to get more hold out of that product when my hair is dry or damp. Anything else like creams or gels, my hair needs to be drenched when I'm adding those products in. It's so much more easy for my hair to really take in and distribute that product, and it saves me a lot more time and, of course, money because I'm not using as much product when my hair is drenched. Another thing that I can't do is really air drying my hair. Now, I can air dry, but I'll say it takes well over a day for my hair to air dry. And to me, that's just not acceptable because people have to go to work, people have to go driving, and if you've seen my hair when it's wet, it's all the way down here. How do you expect me to get on the highway and drive 65 plus miles per hour when I can't see? I'm not really sure how some people can be sitting up here and air drying their hair and say, my hair, it's Tuesday, my hair should be fully dry by Thursday. And I'm like, what? Like, I understand trying to avoid the heat damage, but Jesus Christ. Like, I cannot do that. So I will use a diffuser on the lowest setting. I know that takes a little bit more time than using it on the warmest setting, but I'd rather be able to go to work and just drive in general so I can see and be able to sleep with dry hair than be worried about sleeping with damp or wet hair for 2+ days, because I know my hair is too thick to be going 2 days without actually having it be dry. That's too much time for me to be having damp or wet hair. Another thing that doesn't tend to work really well for me would be one product styling. I know I did a video a while ago that was the Mousse Def as just my one product style. That did work for me, but in hindsight, looking back, I feel like my hair was a little bit dry after maybe a couple of days, instead of me having to wait until maybe day 5 to re-moisturize. One product styling just doesn't hold my wash and go long enough, and it just tends to have my hair be dry a lot sooner than expected. And the last thing that I don't feel really works well in my hair would be things like custards. I like gels. Mousses are fine, but they're not as good to me as gels. but custards, they tend to make my hair feel really weird when they're dry. Like, the last time I used a custard was, I think, a Mielle, was it the rosemary mint custard, if that's what it's called? But that made my hair look like I had type 1 hair for some reason. Like I was looking like James Brown. It was not good for me. I absolutely hated it. My hair was soft, I liked that, but the custard just didn't really dry well. It made me feel like my hair actually was floating. Like, it was too fluffy. Not even fluffy, it was too stringy for my liking. Like, custards just tend to not really dry that well on my hair, so I don't really like using them. Those were all the things that do and don't work in my hair. You can comment down below what does and doesn't work in your hair, or comment on the things that do and don't work on my hair. If you did enjoy that video, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
She's such a poser, changing like it's night and day.